Eggert is sitting here with me. His first novel is out, published by Olympia Publishing in London in October 2020. The book is, among other things, about climate change, as you could hear from the blurb. We travel to space, but over the past few years you have lived in a country that is so foreign to us, Eggert, so foreign to us Europeans that it could be in space for all we know. Where have you been for the last, 4, 5 years? What can you tell us about this country and the society, about the people?
Oh, they are wonderful. They are fantastic, but very different.
From us, then?
From us and from themselves, because the people who live in the highlands are very different from the people who live in the on the lowlands and the coastal regions. And the highlands people are strong. They are, you could say, they're stubborn, or they are competitive, if you like. And if a Papua New Guinean runs a business, it's normally run by a Highlander. The coastal people are more relaxed, and they want to drink their tea and just have a nice good time on the beach, sort of thing. So within the country, huge differences, and they are very tribal still. They speak around 800, I thought it was dialects, but there are actually 800 different languages.
Within this small island?
Oh, yes. And the population is, it sort of differs what, the official census is about 8 million plus, but I've heard numbers up to 11 million in the population count. And they're very rich in terms of oil, copper, gas is a big thing there now. Coal, the Indonesians come there to chop their trees up and export their timber, and so on and so forth. So in a way, this is like paradise on earth. I mean, in Port Moresby, where I spent 2 years plus, the heat is around 32 degrees. It's usually a little bit of wind, so it's not too unpleasant. And when you can run into a building with air condition, you're a very happy person. So the climate is even okay, and when you go up to the highlands, it's even better.
But when you use Google to look for Papua New Guinea, what you see is images of tribal people clad in colorful costumes. Mm-hmm. It looks to me that the tribal system is very strong, and that is what is happening and still is at large in several nations, several countries in the world. And because you talked about the Westminster system of electing people into the legislature, it's interesting to maybe also put this into context about the tribal system, if it's still working, and how that maybe affects the politics of Papua New Guinea.
It affects the politics greatly, because they are used to the tribal system. They're used to the big man, the father figure of the village, who's the tribal leader, if you like. And now the politicians have turned into those tribal leaders for each and everybody's region as such. And that system is flawed, in my opinion. Maybe they should have chosen a different electoral system to start with. But as I say, they sort of muddle on, and if we put the system aside and we say, okay, you lose your job, very many people don't have jobs there.
Even though they are rich, as you said before, in natural resources, they seem to have everything, but people don't have jobs. Well, sounds rather like an oxymoron to me.
The riches aren't distributed equally, and they sort of tend to disappear a little bit to Australia or Singapore, or, nicer climes, if you like. But on the lighter side, on the brighter side of it, is that the country, for the most part, everything you put down, if you have a carrot seed and you stick it down, it grows, and within 4 to 6 months, you've got a good crop. It is a paradise, and the people are intrinsically fantastic, great people. I mean, they fly off the handle sometimes, and
Everybody does.
but you know they do that sort of in a pretty violent manner. But you
Okay.
know, no, but without
I will tell us more about that later.
without a joke, they are generally very, very warm, welcoming, nice, and as I was indicating before, nobody needs to go hungry there, because if you fall by the wayside, your family will pick you up. If you're in Port Moresby or the bigger places like Ley, you can ask somebody, can you buy me a bus fare and I go back to my village? And there you can have your garden, and you know you won't starve. You might not have the money for the phone you want, or the computer, or you know, all the emoticons, but you won't starve.
It's based on these natural resources, or what is the base of economy in this country that you spent your last 5 or 6 years?
It is, yeah. I mean, I think when the oil price goes down, or the gas on the international market, they suffer that. They feel that on their own skin. And so yes, it's resource-based economy. And I forgot, they've obviously around their shoreline, they've got fishing rights as well. So you know, everything is there. So
Lots of food and good weather. What is lacking then? Nothing.
I think what they lack most of all is a little bit more compassion and for each other, and more equal distribution of the wealth.